or the definition of democracy. But what is happening in Burkina Faso, I think there should be something triggering whatever the suspension of the political parties. Yes, we've been in this country, Ghana, for 8 years, and supposing that we were not tolerant enough as Ghanaians, similar things might happen to we Ghanaians today, and we will not be enjoying under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama now, because we saw it from an angle where the former president of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was doing a whole lot of things, even when his own cabinet ministers were calling on him that what you are doing is not right. You are rather taking Ghana back to wherever we took it from. So things must be corrected. He felt so adamant because he felt he was the superior. He had all the powers to his chest, so he could do whatever he feels like doing. And fast forward, 2024 December 7th, we saw in the elections that, see, whatever he was doing, Ghanaians were not happy about it. Hence, they throwing him away and bringing in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And trust me, for the past 1 year, has been so good, and Ghanaians are breathing the air of freedom. And I can tell you that John Dramani Mahama has brought out the black star in Ghana again. He has brought out some trust in Ghanaians again, instilling hope in the youth, leading a charge, a cause that will let the ordinary Ghanaian know that they are not alone, but the president is with them, his cabinet is with them, his appointees, everybody is with them. Somebody will be watching and ask that, why am I saying all this? Or what at all has His Excellency John Dramani Mahama with his cabinet done so far, that whatever is going on in Burkina Faso, we cannot see the same thing here in Ghana? Yes, he has shown leadership of stability, leadership that scout out for talent, leadership that lets the opposition party criticize him, but when doing that, they should do it constructively, so that they will know that the president himself will know that, yes, if I am going wayward as a president, there is a strong opposition that is going to look forward that is going to put me on track. So with whatever is going on in Burkina Faso, I will say that it's a one-way thing. The political parties might not be doing something right, that hence the suspension, and it's bringing a whole lot of negative impact on the country. As I speak to you, when you take the women like this in politics, women voices must be heard in politics, so therefore they should be given opportunities at any time to be part of decision-making bodies all across African countries. As I speak to you, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama made a promise in his manifesto that he is going to make 30% of women form his government. Though it is not up to 30%, we have about 27% now. We're still looking forward for the remaining 3% that will sum up to the 30%. So Burkina Faso, I can tell you today that per the suspension that they have laid on political parties, women will not be free again. Some will be panicking to go forward and speak their voice, because we women are seen to be weaker vessels, and sometimes when issues of this nature happen, you realize that it demoralizes the women to even move forward, especially our children in school, who you have the opportunities to go there and talk to them. You cannot even go there again to talk to them as a politician again, because the powers that are invested into you as a politician to move forward, to do a whole lot of things, has been restricted. So how do you even go about it? Things that you have built for so many years, that you were looking forward to yield a result in helping the ordinary citizen to also look at you, and then also say that, okay, I have this person setting a record for me, breaking the record for me, that I can move on as a female politician, so my voice can be heard. I can also sit in and talk for my colleagues, women who are in the market, who couldn't make it to parliament, who couldn't make it to be part of cabinet. I could sit in for them so that our voices can together be heard. So whatever solution we are seeking at the base, that woman will go and bring it for us. So I will condemn whatever is happening in Burkina Faso now, as in the suspension of political parties. We don't wish them that they should go adjust like that and not solve the issue. Like we are wishing our opponents here, the NPP in Ghana, well, that whatever they do, they should do it well. Hence that the IGP also played a critical role in their just ended elections.
We'll come to that.
So Burkina Faso, I think they should, the West Africa countries, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama have visited a couple of African countries since he came into office. So I think he wouldn't sit down and watch that go on. As a leader and a good leader who has set examples for everybody to follow, I know that he is going to take this up and he will probably do something about it. And within some few days, we are going to get a better results from Burkina Faso.
How would you have reacted if you were in Burkina Faso? You know, the kind of, you know, mindset that you have now, you know, wanting to talk, wanting to voice out. Now, you know, it looks like it is intended to crash down on critics and, you know, people with, you know, dissent. Let me put it that way. How would you have reacted, you know, at the back of a women's, you know, participation in all these issues?
Panic would have been the first thing. And then second, I would have felt small. Because already we happen to, in Africa, taking it from the African perspective, we tend to have very few women in terms of politics, and then in most sectors we tend to have very few women. So in an instance where that little opportunity for most of us to break into that cycle and have women, I wouldn't say dominating the men, but then representing the women, because men cannot obviously represent both. We'll need both the men and then the women to represent the entire nation. And then an instance where that that spark to barge in to represent women is taken out, panic would have been the first thing. And then secondly, I would have felt small. And then I would have felt, to me personally, I would have felt a little bit into slavery. Because here, whatever there is that you intend to do, you cannot do it. So whatever directions are being passed, that is what you do. So even if in implementing these policies or whatever is being put by the government, you don't have an avenue to voice out your discomfort, your concerns, your every single thing. So I would have felt first panic, second little, and then the third I would have felt like I'm in slavery.
How would you describe women's participation in politics? Let's take Ghana's case.
Okay.
And do you foresee something like that happening? First of all, what are your views on women's participation when it comes to politics currently?
Okay. I would not speak from a general perspective. I would speak from my party's perspective at least. Like I rightly said, NPP is a party that is, from my experience, is more focused on the youth and gives key attention to female. So they do not discriminate in terms of this ethnicity thing. They are not concerned about your age limit. Like the good book will tell you, let nobody despise you because of your age. Now they take that thing into context. So you find them not only encouraging you, but making sure that you have it in your mind that whatever there is that is happening in the world that involves people, not necessarily men or women, people, you have the ability, you have that capability to represent, to do it. They constantly remind you in their meetings, interactions, and from that perspective, I don't even foresee an instance where women would be capped, because already women are a bit marginalized when it comes to politics and all these things. So I don't foresee it. From my perspective of being an NPP, I don't foresee that happening. But generally, I will not be able to speak for us because I'm in the NPP.
What do you think we can do to improve women's, I would even call it active women's participation in politics?
Okay, once again, from my perspective, having women have what it feels like to have the authority of men once again, because of the kind of training I have had, the goal is not to dominate men. The goal is not to rub shoulders with men. The goal is to be able to have that capacity that a man would have to be able to stand, make decisions while still respecting the men. And that is what the NPP is doing so well with. So they make sure that you are building in that capacity like it's innate to be able to think like the men, to be able to have that authority, to be able to not necessarily dominate, submit and work. If it means dominating, that is okay. And that is what the NPP is doing. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, give it to you.
Alright, let me say that in God's own image and his understanding, he created a man. And after all, he saw that if there is no woman part of a man, then there is something going to go wrong. That is why he saw it important that he will create a woman attached to a man. And you've seen since the inception of this world, you've seen that even if you are a man and in your house at the ages of 30, 35, and you are not married or you don't even have a woman around you, you could see how scattered you will be. Well disorganized you will be. I know you know. David, you are smiling. I know you know very well. Yeah, I know you know. When you get to a certain age as a man and you don't have a woman in your life, you become very disorganized. Trust me, no matter how hard you are, no matter how much wealthy you are, rich you are, you still need a woman in your house to make you complete as a man. Yes, that is why when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mentioned that he need a female to be his vice, we women in Ghana was happy about it. Personally, I took it like my own. Yes, and I was writing on social media, I was writing everywhere about it because I was happy. Looking at where I am coming from, a deprived community called Botiano Chokome, I don't know if you know that, in the Gasouth municipality. Exactly. You come there and women are just given little privilege, especially in our school, even in our churches. You see that when there is a Sunday school teaching going on and they have a play or something, they will always opt that, oh, the guy should go forward. So this thing started not today. It started even from our homes and even in our churches, everywhere you find yourself, social gatherings. When we, even in our schools, mostly they will be like, oh, the boys prefect should go forward and do it. But today it's not like that. Today we have seen his Professor Jenana Opokwa Jiman, Her Excellency, sets the goal higher for every female. I'll always mention her name because she is the one that has been chosen. We women are voice heard. So I see that this is the time. Political parties, all females who are politicians should come together, irrespective of which let's join our hands together, mentor a girl child in your community, go to the various basic schools, go there, scout out for the females, teach them to be confidential, teach them to speak out for themselves, teach them to stand up for themselves. Let them speak. They shouldn't feel intimidated. See, when you come to Botiano there, I always use my constituency and then my municipal as an example. We have a lot of this, but you see a girl child who has completed SHS and he or she cannot even stand in a congregation or a whole setting of people to talk to them because she hasn't been taught from the beginning. So the onus lies on some of us, like I and my sister, that we team up together irrespective of the political parties we belong to. Go out there, nurture a girl child, teach her that no, see, a female too can make a difference. It is not that you are disrespecting. This will cast back my mind to our mother, the late Nana Kunedu Rawlings. May her soul rest in perfect peace. She has set the ball rolling for us. And I could sit here and say that she is the first female who actually had a voice for the widows. With the PNDC law 111, when it happened that when your husband dies, then the family will capture every property you have had with the husband. Something I have suffered with my husband, that when the man is no more, then the families will come for it. No. But she stood up for the woman. And she's like, no, this shouldn't happen. Now, when you go to other regions, like the central region, we have a Gari factory over there named after her. Because she realized that, no, if the woman will sit in the house, for the man to go and come every day, the man might be looking down upon the woman. You understand? So you need to learn a trade. You need to go to school. You need to stay in the class. See, sometimes from our own political parties, when party comes and then they are giving out appointments, people feel like, okay, why is it that I have worked for the party for so many years and then they have not positioned me to, or they have not allocated any office to me to go and work there, so that whatever I have done will be seen by the results, the outcome. Hey, Sister Amma was then on a campaign trail. She was talking loud. She was this, and today you see it has paid. The question is, have you built capacity? You understand? You prepare yourself to meet the opportunity. Some will be like, I have a JHS certificate. Last week, I was on GH1 television, and then after, there was one guy who called me from my constituency and was like, please, I want to talk to you on behalf of my little nephew who wants to be a journalist, so I want you to, and I asked, what is his educational background? And then he's like, JHS. I'm like, how? You can't use a JHS to be a journalist. No. Let him go back to school. He should go back to SHS, do whatever he has to do there, the courses he has to do there. He should do it there. When he is done, he should proceed to the uni. When he is done, he should go back and learn something about communication or journalism. And then when he or she is done, anyone at all can pick him or up and do what? And mentor that person to become whoever he or she wants to become. So David, it is all about mentoring our girl's child at the various schools and in our community. People make it at the top and they forget that these very ones are the base, or that deprived community are those who will come and replace us when we are no more there. So we need to put in our best for them. We need to support them. We need to advise and encourage them that, see, women can do better where a man is. So therefore, all the time we should be able to bring up those initiatives that are going to teach our children how to be speaking for their own, to stand out for their own when it comes to community development and politics and Ghana at large.
Chipping, or we can move on?
Yes, just a little.
Right.
She made mention about stewarding the girl child. And the moment she emphasized on that, I felt very lucky to belong to the NPP. And I will explain. I'm a type of person that I wouldn't say I'm very reserved, but I like to keep my opinions to myself. And now getting to know the NPP, it wasn't just about you have to follow the party. The mindset for bringing you on board is to make sure that you build in that capacity. Like she said, just in case there's any position available, you do not only have the financial support, which the party does very well with that if you are worth it, and educational background, but then you have that capacity. Charisma is something I've had the opportunity to learn from them, not just them telling you about it, but you go on meetings and there's nothing like I'm bigger than you. So indirectly, they are constantly orienting your mind with every little action that we put on board. And once again, I'm very lucky to be part of the NPP.
I'm enjoying the discussion because, look, most times you don't get to hear or listen the internal structures of the various political parties. You know, the things that you guys are talking about, you know, the women empowerment and all those things. It's all just got to do with the frontal issues, politics. But I'm made to believe that there are a lot of internal things that happen within the various political parties. And I'm getting that from the two of you.
A lot is happening. When you take the likes of Beatrice Ananfio, she has this platform who she natures female communicators for the party. She has more than I can't even mention the number. When you look at the likes of Ajia Shamima Muslimi, a very beautiful soul, you approach them. When you see them from afar, you will be like, hey, this person will not be that approachable, they will not be sociable. But put up that confidence, just walk to them. I want you to mentor me. That is the kind of confidence we want to see in our children. And how do we do it? We here will have to go to them and teach them. So I have taken up that initiative, and I have been doing that not only in my constituency, everywhere I find myself, and I see you as a girl child, and I notice that you have something in you that should be nurtured. I get close to you, I make sure you also get close to me, and when you go there, they will tell you that, hey, Gifty is somebody you can talk to anytime. I quite remember that I went to one of the basic school, that was somewhere last year. It's something I've been doing consistently. I got there and one girl just came to me and was like, I want you to talk to my mother for me. And as she was talking, I saw her tears just flowing down her cheeks just like that. And I asked, what is happening? He said, my mother doesn't even want me to come for Saturday classes. And this is a girl who is in JHS3 about writing her BECE. But the mother feels that on Saturday, she should be in the house, help her with Chelsea's, help her with whatever the mother will want the girl to learn. Yes, it is good when you teach your girl child how to wash, how to cook and all those things. But when the opportunity is there for her to go out and study, please permit her go out and study for herself, because that is what is going to make her what you, the mother, want to see in the future. Yeah.
Okay. So I believe we can move on and do two major issues. I want to start with the NPP issues. But so you guys went into the elections on Saturday. Were you around?
Yes, I was around.
All right. So which of your candidates won?
Number 3.
Who is number 3?
That is His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Oh, okay. So you were all routed.
Yes.
All right. So post primaries, there's been a lot of talk about how you guys will be able to rebuild the NPP. And mind you, it's an internal power struggle. But whatever happens I always keep saying this, whatever happens in the NPP can affect our national agenda. Because whoever you elected on Saturday is a possibility that that person can become the president of Ghana. Well, it is possible that the person, so it's always nice that we all look into what is happening within the NPP. So post-primary, there's been talk about reconciliation, efforts to unite, because of the deep-seated cracks that we all watch unfold in the NPP. Your own minority leader says that there were internal sabotages. That's how he described it. So there was a need for the party to come together, and those moves or calls were made by the flag bearer elected on Saturday. And after that, we've had numerous leadership within the party who have also made same call. But there are also talks about that this might lead to certain fragmentation, certain powers arising from whatever happened on Saturday, because people feel that some powers that are coming after them. There's been talk about Afenyo marking, the way the Futu constituency voted, the threat to his seat as the minority leader in parliament, and others who think that because they have sided with one of the contestants, Bawumia's campaign team will come after them. Yesterday we saw Afenyo marking with Bawumia, in an attempt to smoke the peace pipe. My question is that are all these